Welcome back to Cask 529. I'm Brian.
And I'm Shauna.
Today we're doing a little show that Shauna actually came up with the idea.
Yes.
And it seems like we're always on the hunt for something.
Correct. And so last night I told Brian we really needed to make our list of which bourbons we definitely want to hunt this year. Last year, just getting into bourbon, we went a little bit crazy. Not as crazy as some people, but crazy for us.
Not going to mention any names.
So I wanted to know which ones we definitely wanted to be able to find this year. Because, some of them are higher priced. And so if we want to be able to hunt them, then we need to not pick up all the other ones that maybe necessarily we don't want so much.
Right.
So we each came up with 5, so there's 10 total bourbons that we will be hunting in 2024. Who knows if we'll find them?
And I think realistically, we know we're not going to find them all.
But we're going to try.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'll start, if that's okay.
Okay, great. Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm sure my list is not going to shock many people. There's a couple different ones on there, but and I'm doing it by when they should be released by month. That's how my list is in order. So the first one that I will be hunting is actually supposed to be released in January. Today is, I think, January 12th. And so far here in Ohio, it has not been released. It is not on OHLQ, so that I can't even pull it up. But I know that other states are getting it. And it is the Old Forester 1924, which is part of their Whiskey Row series. It's a 10-year-old, 100 proof, and the MSRP for that is supposed to be around $115. Now, we just purchased all 4 of the Whiskey Row series, and so the $115 mark for the 1924 version is a little bit high. The other 4 are in the $50s to $60 range. So hopefully this one's really good since it's almost double the
Was
price.
there one of those as high as an $80 mark?
No, they were all 50s and 60s.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, one might have been like say $69.99,
Okay.
but they were all in 50s and 60s.
Okay.
So that is the first one I'm going to be hunting, and I am already looking for it. And I will be watching the Ohio website continuously to see when it actually drops in Ohio.
Perfect. Perfect. I know last night, today was a drop day for a lot of places in Ohio. So we were on the OHLQ site last night trying to see if that was going to be possibly out anywhere. And like she said, it doesn't even show yet. So hopefully, I mean, we're down to a couple, 2.5, 3 weeks left. So.
And sometimes in Ohio, it may be released in January, but it may be February or March before we see it.
A good example of that last year when I got the Remus Gatsby, it was October, but it was actually released in September. And that was the first we'd heard of it when we found it.
Yep.
So, okay, my list is not in order. However, that's a great idea, so I'm going to fumble around a little bit. My first one is going to be released in May. So I've got a few months to start saving for my list. And it's actually Blood Oath. This year will be Pact 10 of the series. It was first released, Pact 1, in 2015. It's a 98.6 proof bourbon, and it will retail somewhere right around $130. I actually had my hands on a Pact 9 this year, well, last year now, I guess.
Yeah. But it was right when we were getting into bourbon.
We were just getting started. I looked at the price and I was like, oh boy, if I go home and tell her I paid that much for a bottle of bourbon, I might be living in my truck. So I passed on it. And within a week or 10 days, I started hearing all these fabulous things about it. And I was like, oh, I had it in my hand. So we're going to try to find that one for 2024. Yep. Hopefully it'll be as good. It seems to have a pretty good history behind it. So that's going to be the first bottle I'm looking for.
Good deal. My number 2 is Woodford Reserve Masters Collection, the Historic Entry. Last year we were able to get 2 of the 3 master collections.
We didn't really even know there was a third one. So
because it was released early in the year.
Early,
Yeah.
before we were
Yeah. And so this one is supposed to come out in February. Its MSRP should be around $130, and I'm going to assume, purely an assumption, that it's also going to be in that 700 ml bottle instead of the 750 ml bottle. It's said to be about 90.4 proof, and so I am definitely going to be keeping my eyes out for that in February. And we may even make a trip to Kentucky, to the distillery, to make sure I get a bottle.
Is that the one? There was one that was going to be released at the distillery only. Is that the one?
Right.
That's not the
No.
one.
They do have distillery only releases, and I did not put any of those on the list because I know that we always, can't get away to get those. So,
Okay.
but that's my number 2.
And if that was released at the same time last year, we missed it by 2 months. I think it was around April when we really
Right.
started the hunt. Okay, my number 2 is going to be released in June timeframe. I'm not holding my breath on this because I looked all last year for one. Knew lots of people that got them. It eluded me. Well, I just couldn't find it, and that is Russels Reserve 13 year. Again, I mean, just based on the things we've heard about it and we've read about it, I'm going to continue to try to find one. Hopefully I'll have better luck. I feel like we know a little more about how to go about finding things now than we did. So hopefully that will help us. It is going to be in the $150 MSRP range, and 114 proof. So again, that's going to be released in June. Russels Reserve 13. It's not on my list, but they are releasing a Russels Reserve 15 year this year. I've had a couple people ask me, are you going to try to find that? I couldn't find a 13 last year, so I'm not going to
Hold your breath.
I'm just not, you know what, if I stumble onto one,
We'll
awesome.
pick it up.
Yeah, absolutely, but it's not even on my list.
So my number 3 is again Woodford Reserve Master's Collection, the batch proof. It is going to be the 2024 release. I don't know if this is actually the proof point for this year, the 2024, but it was showing 124.7. I'm not sure. That's actually what last year's batch proof was. So I don't know if that's really correct.
Probably going to be a little different.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit
I
different.
think the year before that was 119.
Yeah, it varies every year. So I'm not stating that 2024 is going to be 124.7. It's supposed to be released in June. MSRP said to be around the 150 mark, and I'm also assuming again this year the 700 ml bottle. So definitely looking for that batch proof. I probably want the batch proof a little bit more than the historic entry, but I want both.
Of course you do. Well, it's not a collection if you don't have both.
That's right.
So, my third bottle is going to be released in August, and it's actually the Yellowstone 2024 limited edition. And it will be right around the 101 proof and retail in the $125 range. Again, we were kind of latecomers last year to the game, and when we realized this was released for 2023, it already had been going around for several weeks, and we got in the car one day and we tried. We went all over. I mean, we were every place that showed they had it.
We were.
We went, and we had no luck. I saw last night there's still a couple places that show limited supply, so there's still hope we could pick up a 2023 bottle, but I'd have to move pretty quick probably to make that happen. So, but that's my third bottle on my list of 5, and that's an August release.
So my number 4, again, this one probably is not going to shock anybody if you've been watching our shows. 4 Roses, the 2024 limited edition small batch. Supposed to come out around September, and I do not have the proof point on this, nor do I have the MSRP. I was not able to find either on that release. But again, in September, I'm definitely going to be hunting for that Four Roses small batch, the limited edition.
Perfect. So I know we both like the Four Roses. In fact, I've got some Four Roses single barrel in my glass right now.
You do.
It's just, they haven't let us down, really.
No, it's very good. The lower proof point one,
The straight bourbon. Yeah.
great mixer, but I don't like I'll drink a pour of it, but it's definitely not my favorite.
Yeah,
it's not bad, by no means, but
the proof point is just too low.
right. Every other Four Roses, I really enjoy.
Yeah, we do. We really do.
Yeah. In my glass is the Woodford Reserve Sonoma release. And it's really yummy.
Which we cherish that, and we
I know.
use
I
it
felt
very
like this show
sparingly.
deserved that.
It did. It did. I saw her digging on the shelf, and I thought, here we go. Okay, so my fourth bottle that I'll be hunting is going to be a September release, and it's the Old Forester 2024 Birthday Bourbon. Again, another bottle that we learned about late in the game in 2023. And these are all things that when we started our bourbon journey, we really didn't have a clue. I mean, we knew that you had to go to the liquor store, and we've got a grocery store local that has a liquor store in it, and actually a gas station. And we've got stuff at all three of those locally this year. But by the time we really figured out how to hunt, how to research, where to look, and we've met some people that are willing to share a little information, we just missed a lot of this stuff.
Yes.
So the September release of Old Forester Birthday Bourbon, it's a 12-year bourbon. It's going to come in about 96 proof. And I'm saying about on all these proofs because I'm assuming they're going to be where they've been. And it'll be in the $170 MSRP range. So that's going to be my number 4. And that's a September release.
So my number 5, last but certainly not least, is an October release, and it's High West, a Midwinter Night's Dram, and it is Act 12. I'm assuming it's going to be around the 98.6 proof point. MSRP is showing to be, again, around 150. And as you know, we were lucky enough to receive one of those from Brian's nephew out in Arizona. He was nice enough to find that and send that to us. And it overall has to be one of my favorite whiskeys.
It's incredible. It's a great pour.
And I definitely do not want to miss the 2024 release. I'm super excited about that. I do not want to wish the year away by no means, but I'm excited for the fall to come and that one to come out.
And you know, it's unlikely that it's going to go south, the bottle. But even if it does, this one was so good.
It was.
You've got to go get that if you can. If we can find it, we'll definitely. And we may have somebody in the West that'll watch for that for us. So.
Yes.
My number 5, and I'm coming back with another Wild Turkey product, another Russels. It's going to be the Single Rickhouse for 2024, and it is a October release. It comes in at the 120 proof range. Here's the kicker. Comes in about $300 MSRP.
Yep.
We got really close to this bottle in 2023. Missed it, but we were really close. So hopefully, and that's late in the year, so maybe I can put a couple pennies back every week.
Now, there was one bourbon that you and I both looked for on the 2024 release calendar, and we did not find it. So we're going to put that out there to the viewers.
And it would have been on my.
It would have been on both of our lists, but we would have shared it.
But.
Yeah. So I would like to know, Bryan would like to know, if anyone knows if they will be having a 2024 Remus Gatsby release. Because we definitely would like to know that. We did find a Remus release, but it wasn't the Gatsby edition.
It's not the Gatsby. And our understanding is 2022 was the first year of that.
Right.
2023 was the one that we got.
Yes.
And people said it wasn't as good as 2022. We can't confirm that because we didn't have the 2022. But what we can tell you, if it wasn't as good as 2022, I'd love to have 2022.
Yeah, because 2023 was awesome.
Oh, it was incredible. And it's a 15-year bourbon.
Yes.
So if it's going to be released for 2024, no guarantees we'll get our hands on it, but that's definitely going to be...
So if anybody does know that
Yeah.
if it's going to be released, please let us know, because we would like to get our hands on it. And upcoming, please don't forget, we are getting closer to 500 subscribers every day.
Bottle Stag.
We're making it inch by inch there. So once we get to 500 subscribers, giving away a bottle of Stag. So please help us get there. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment, and share it with your friends.
Just to give you a heads up, we are, at the time we started the show, 56. We need 56 subscribers to give that bottle of Stag away.
Yep. And we're excited to do it. So please help us get there.
And once we get there, I don't know, we haven't talked about it, but there'll probably be...
Yeah, I'm not sure what else is going to be in the
Yeah.
giveaway package, but there will be more than just the bottle, but for sure the bottle of Stag will be in
Yeah,
it.
yeah, there'll be some other stuff.
And I know that's really what everybody
That's what everybody wants. I mean, obviously you want stuff that says cask 529 on it.
Yeah, most definitely.
But, I mean, we could write that on the bottle if you really wanted us to.
We will not do that to you.
Okay, I think that's all I have.
It is, yeah. Thanks everybody for joining us.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure.
And happy hunting this year.
Good luck to everybody. Thank
Thanks,
you,
everyone.
everyone.